welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Today for Scent Sunday, I'm just doing a collective perfume haul. I've just bought a lot of perfumes in the last 2 months, and I thought it'd be fun to catch you up on like some of the new stuff in my collection, things I've been testing out, what I think of it. I have a few things that were sent to me, so I'll let you know what those are as we go, but I've also bought a lot. It's also a lot of things that I bought, so I'm excited to share them with you. And yeah, I'm excited for some of the videos that I want to do coming up. These are what I'm thinking for perfume. I want to do a wish list video. I want to do a coconut. It's been more difficult than I thought to do a coconut because my little nose has been changing so much, but I want to do some like, if you like this, then maybe try these type of videos, specifically kind of centered around ISO-E Super. I kind of thought about doing a more like unisex or like more masculine fragrances for women or for anyone. But yeah, those are just some of the things going around in my brain. I'm excited for them, but let's just get into this video. It's going to be kind of long. It's a lot of stuff. I'm not lying. I'm going to start off with the perfume that I wore the most in May. So I did my little calculations. I've been tracking all the perfumes that I'm wearing like every single day, and I just wanted to have an idea of like what I actually wear, even if it's like once or twice a month, or you know, kind of like sneaky sprays you'd forget about. I just wanted to have the actual data for it, and Nichané's 100 Silent Ways was the perfume I wore the most last month. I got this in May, and this is kind of surprising how much I like this. I had smelt this initially. Oh yeah, don't mind, I have just paper because I'm out of tester strips right now. But anyway, I had smelled this when I was in San Francisco and I really liked it. So I kind of just had it on my wish list to like smell again and see if I liked it. And man, it is so good. This is a fruity floral. It has white florals in it. It has like a peach note in it. And it is so surprising to me that I like it as much as I do. I don't tend to love like a fruity floral. That's just not my style. But something about this one is just done so perfectly in that it's light and airy. It's still fruity. It's still floral, but it doesn't feel cheap or over the top or like too cloyingly sweet. I mean, it is a sweet perfume, don't get me wrong, but it's just balanced really nicely to my nose and I love it. Like I really, really love it. This is pretty heavy on the white florals, and that was, I think, a big surprise to me, but my nose has been changing a little bit and I have been enjoying, you know, a white floral, especially if it has like this vanilla and this sweetness to it to kind of balance out what I get a lot of the time is like a pea smell, like a very animalic, gross pea smell if white florals are done too heavy or just very potent, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but I've definitely been coming around to it in some ways, and I'm more surprised than you, let me tell you. So the notes on this, it has tuberose, like seriously, tuberose in the top, like who am I? Peach, mandarin orange, middle notes, gardenia, jasmine, orris, base notes, vanilla, sandalwood, and vetiver. Whatever it is about this, if I read the accords and I read the notes, I would not want to even smell it, but I'm telling you, it is so good. I think that if you like Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid, which I also really like, try giving this a sniff. I do think that they're similar. They have those kind of florals going on. They also have that peach note as well as the vanilla. I believe the vanilla in the Ruby Orchid is more of like a bourbon vanilla, and I do find there's like this richness to it that on me tends to turn kind of smoky or kind of spicy, and like spices, like it just definitely adds something a little different to that one, but I do feel like they're in the same vein, and this one to me is just brighter, more airy, you know, a little bit more lighthearted. It does get a little powdery as it dries down, but it's not too much, and I like the florals in it, so I am surprised I love this as much as I do, but I already have a dent. Like, I've been wearing this so much. I also wore it today. Really, really enjoying this one from Nichané. This is a bougie haul, so just know that going in, okay? Next, another white floral perfume that when I smelled this initially, I did not like it. This is very hyped up and I did not understand it. That's why I wanted to smell it in the first place. This is Love by Kilian. Don't Be Shy. Love, Don't Be Shy by Kilian. I don't even know how you say it. Do you just call it Love? Do you call it Love, Don't Be Shy? I don't know. But I picked this up actually in a duo pack. Like someone was selling this as well as another by Kilian perfume, and Sam wanted the other one, so I'll get into that after this. And so we decided to go for it and save some money by buying secondhand, and this smells so good to me now. I cannot believe how my nose has changed. This is a very powdery, white floral heavy, like marshmallow sweet scent. Like I said, this is super raved about. I'm sure you've heard about this. It got a lot of hype because it's like no known or said to be that Rihanna wears this scent. And so it's very popular on YouTube. The first time I smelled this, I could not get over the white florals. Like, to me, I was like, it doesn't matter how sweet it is. I couldn't even smell the sweetness. I really was just caught up on how powdery it was and all those florals. I was like, what is wrong with people? I literally was like, that's a no for me. Then I don't know what it is. I'm just like sitting and I'm like, I'm gonna spray that on me. I know that I don't like it, but I just kept coming back to it. And then eventually I was like spraying it on me. And then eventually I was like, man, I keep going to that perfume. Like, I think I like it now. I think I like it. This also has a civet note in the base, like this kind of animalic. And I do smell that in here along with, like I've said, I get that kind of animalic kind of smell from white florals a lot of the time. And so there's something about it. It's there, you know. I think it makes it not completely sickly sweet. It adds the tiniest dash of like what I call salt in a perfume. It's not actual salt, but like that balance so that it doesn't go too sweet, too powdery, too just over the top one way. I feel like that civet in there just adds something a little sexy, a little sweaty, a little like something to it so that it has an edge, you know? Who freaking knew that I would like this? At this point, I'm like, maybe at some point I'll like Ellis Brooklyn B. Like, I'll be into honey notes. Like, I don't even know who I am, but I have really been enjoying this one too. I've noticed though, I do like the florals when they're with sweetness, like that vanilla. That's what I like the most, at least right now. Maybe I'll start, you know, evolving more and more into the white florals. But I think right now I need that heavy vanilla, that heavy sweetness with them, and still done the right way for me to like them. But I'm telling you, this was a whole chapter of perfume that I was just not ready to go down, and now I am. So this has notes of neroli, bergamot, pink pepper, and coriander in the top, orange blossom, jasmine, honeysuckle, rose, and iris. I mean, that orange blossom is so prevalent, and the fact that I like it. It's that marshmallow with it. It just makes it right. I don't know when the orange blossom was okay to me, but it is in this scent. It is now. What's wrong? It's so weird when you like feel the change of your nose. Okay, then on the base, sugar, caramel, vanilla, musk, civet, and labdanum. So that's the notes. Really love that one. It's definitely a little more girly than I'm used to. I'm telling you, I'm the woody, smoky girl. Okay, I like woody ones, more unisex, like fresh, musky, but I have definitely changed a lot of like what I'm into. Sometimes it's going more girly like this. Other times I'm going even deeper and darker than I ever expected. So yeah, lots of movement over here for me. Okay, the other perfume that someone was selling like as a bundle was Apple Brandy on the Rocks from Kilian. This is for Sam. Sam loves the scent, and you know, he's like into perfumes because I'm into perfumes. He knows perfumes by smell now, all that, but usually he's pretty like, whatever, like, no, I mean, yeah, it smells good, but I wouldn't buy it. Like, that's what he says all the time. Like, yeah, it's nice, I'm not gonna buy it. Oh yeah, that's nice, I'm not gonna buy it. This one, he was like, that's really good. I do want to buy that. Very different for him. This is a boozy apple scent, and this is the flanker of just Apple Brandy from Kilian. This one has a freshness to it, and I think that's what Sam likes the most, and what I like too, and what makes it different from the original. You can almost smell the coolness coming off of this. It's definitely apple heavy. It has like a booziness, but I don't find it too rich and deep. It's like this boozy apple scent for the spring and summer. Like, you could definitely wear it at that time. There is something slightly masculine going on with this, but I think that women could wear it too. I just find it really beautiful, and I think for it being so fruit heavy, it still has something really nice and classy about it. I really enjoy it. So this has notes of cardamom and bergamot in the top, apple, rum, pineapple, brandy, vanilla, and moss in the mid notes, and in the base, ambroxan and cedar. It's just really beautiful. I definitely enjoy it on Sam, but I've worn it a few times and I do like it on myself too. Just thought I'd throw that one in there since it was like a bundle pack, but that's Sam's. That's added to Sam's little collection. The one that I really want from the more like liqueur line that he has, I want Angel Share so bad. Oh, that one is so good, on my wish list for sure. I'll get into a couple of the fragrances that were sent to me. So one of them is from Commodity. This is Paper Plus. I have a whole video talking about Commodity fragrances. I had the whole sampler pack, so I'll leave that down below if you want to like check out more from the line. This was one of my favorites though, and so this is the one I picked out. This is what I'm normally, I feel like, into. This is definitely, This is why you have the real ones, because when I go to sniff this, it like suction cups to my nose every fucking time. Okay, anyway, this definitely, I think, leans a little masculine, and it has the ISOE Super in it, which was one of my favorite notes. I love that. It's very woody, but there's this kind of like sweetness, like just barely coming through. It's super soft. There's something about this fragrance that feels very worn in, even though it's one of the more bold ones because it's the plus. I find that this still has this very lived-in quality. It feels like you've been wearing this perfume for like the whole day once you spray it on, and I don't mean that in like a bad way. I mean that in like, it just feels a part of you so immediately. Like the way I experience this scent is almost like when you put on a shirt you've already worn, like you put that shirt on again and you smell the perfume as you're putting it on. It kind of has like that type of quality to me, but in this case it'd probably be like I'm putting on Sam's shirt or something. It smells so good. I brought this over to a friend's house. We were doing like a perfume smelling, I know. It's what I do, you guys. And this was one that they both really enjoyed. I find this to be more of a skin scent though, and the main accords on it are woody, musky, ambery, like definitely stuff I'm like, that's right up my alley. This has ISOE Super in the top, sandalwood in the top, middle notes of amber, and base notes, woodsy notes, and vetiver. So you're definitely gonna want something woody. You're definitely gonna wanna be okay with something kind of unisex, but if you are, this might be something you'd really enjoy. It feels fresh, but again, kind of lived in. It's not too clean, you know, but you're not like dirty either. Really love this one. Super excited to have it in my collection. I definitely think that could be like a signature scent type perfume. Next, let's do this one from Skylar, another one that was sent to me. This is their newest scent, Honeysuckle Dream. I have another video all on Skylar. I'm missing the two newest perfumes in that video because they hadn't come out at the time, so I don't have Coconut Cove in there, and I don't have the Honeysuckle Dream, but if you want to know more of my thoughts on the Skylar perfumes, definitely check it out. This is Honeysuckle. This is floral. It's a very clean floral. There's not a lot of sweetness going on. It's very fresh, almost like you're going into a garden, maybe at the morning time. Like it's a little bit of coolness in the air. There's still a little dew on the petals. It smells nice. It smells fresh. It's not so clean and so floral that I feel like it'd give me a headache, which is great. And it doesn't have a stinky white floral scent to it, but it's definitely not for me. Like this is not the perfume for me. It's not my personal style. It's a little too floral, like only floral. Like I want some sweetness. I want some woods. I want more, but I think this is definitely for the person it's for. You know what I mean? If you like those like light, airy florals that aren't too sweet, I think you'd really like this. On the website, in the top notes, it says bergamot, sparkling cassis, and pear leaves. The middle has honeysuckle, lily, and orange flower water, and the base has cashmere wood, sandalwood, and sheer amber. I find that base to be super light, super airy. It's definitely not dense to me. Even on my skin, I don't find it like really coming out a lot. It's still very light, and so it's just not for me, but I could see different people in my life like wearing this, and I always mention this, but like hugging them and smelling it and it reminding me of them, that type of thing. So definitely not a perfume for me, but if you like those types of florals, I do think it's a good one from the line, and I think it's pretty different from what Skylar kind of has going on. I feel like this most closely lines up with Pink Canyon from their line. They aren't similar in scent, but I just mean like they seem to be buddies to me on like who would wear them, the way they smell, like the feeling you get, the kind of cleanness. I think it's that they don't have something so fruity sweet going on where a lot of the rest of the line does. Yeah, that's Honeysuckle Dream, in case you wanted to know some of my thoughts on that. I think I just saw though introducing After Dark collection. I'm excited for that. I have not seen this at all. So the After Dark collection, there's Urban Rose, Indigo Valley, Midnight Moon. Ooh, I am excited to smell those, that's for sure. Blueberry Mocha, White Lotus, and Clearwood. Urban Rose has pink pepper, amber, and rosewood. And then Midnight Moon has Italian bergamot, cranberries, and vetiver. I'm definitely excited to see how those go. We'll see. I'll keep you updated if I get those. I did buy some more affordable perfumes in the last couple of months. I've definitely been trying to find cheaper perfumes, and so I wanted to try to find some like actually affordable perfumes instead of body mist, which if you want a video on body mist, I did do that, so check that out. It was last week's video. But I picked up some stuff from Mix Bar. I got a sampler set, I think from like Marshall's or something, so I was able to sample them, and I did pick up quite a few actually, like a lot of winners from Mix Bar. I think it's because they have some vanillas, but my favorite one that I picked up is Coconut Palm, just to like spoil it. This is the type of coconut scent that I am into right now. I think this smells way more expensive than the $18.99 that it is at Target. And of course, if you find it on a better deal, they do that too. This is like a sandalwood coconut perfume. So I find that this doesn't go into tropical fruit territory. It's not overly fruity at all. It just has that beautiful, like almost coconut husk, and it mixes so beautifully with the woods that are in here. It's something kind of warm, kind of musky. It's so good. I think that this is expensive. Like, this smells expensive to me. If I smelled this from a niche house, I would want it. I would want it. It smells so good. It almost smells actually like the base of paper is in there with a coconut note added on top. Like, seriously, I just was realizing that is what it smells like, because there's something kind of, I don't want to say masculine about it, but it definitely has those woods, and I think it smells so good, and again, so expensive for the price. One of my top coconut scents in my collection right now. This is the type of coconut that I want. I'm definitely not as into something that's like super fruity, like where it's just, you know, going that direction, but Coconut Palm, so good. I want to spray this with Baccarat. I think that would be delicious. I haven't tried that combo yet. I'll keep you updated. Some of the notes on here: coconut, vanilla, sandalwood, woody notes, musk, salt, and seaweed. The salt and seaweed seem kind of scary, but they are not super prominent in here at all. I feel like it just gives it an edge, but I don't get like something super marine from this coconut even. Again, I think it really sticks with that vanilla, the wood, the coconut. It reminds me more of Nest Madagascar Vanilla, where it's kind of this coconut vanilla scent with some woodsy notes. It's kind of in that vein. So if you've tried that, something like this, and it's way cheaper than any of the stuff here, like way cheaper. So that was such a win, and I'm definitely pretty into the Mix Bar stuff, but I'd love to know, where do you buy your actually inexpensive stuff? And I'm not talking about like Ross and Marshall's, where you can get celebrity perfumes at like a cheap price. I'm talking about things that aren't celebrity perfumes. They're like their own perfume houses, but they do cheaper actual perfumes, not body splashes, not colognes. Like, we're talking about EDTs, EDPs. Let me know your favorite places, because I feel like it's kind of hard. And I know a lot of the perfumes I talk about are really expensive, but I'd love to find some perfumes that I really love at a, you know, cheaper price point, but I actually want to love them. I don't want to just love them for the price. I want to like love them. And Mix Bar has it. Okay, Vanilla Bourbon from Mix Bar is so good. So many of you guys have been recommending this to me for a very long time, but the Target I have, like, I don't go to it very much, but the times I have, like, all their testers are gone. It's a catastrophe, honestly, in there. This vanilla scent smells, again, very expensive to me. That vanilla bourbon in here gives it this beautiful, rich vanilla smell. I find on my skin, a lot of vanillas that are like vanilla bourbon notes go very smoky. So this one on me turns a little smoky and kind of cloudy. It has some spice going on. It's really full-bodied vanilla, but it still has that like creamy kind of denseness going on. So beautiful. Again, it smells way more expensive than it should be, and this gets compared to By the Fireplace from Replica, which I love that scent, you guys know, and I definitely see the similarities. I do prefer Replica, but this is very close, and again, we're talking about the price point here, extremely different. I feel like it wears a long time. I really enjoy this vanilla, so very happy with that one. Probably my least favorite out of the three, but one I like enough to buy, so I still like this fragrance. This is Whipped Almond. I find that this is really nice, sweet, cozy vanilla almond type scent. This has like this cleanness to it. It has like this kind of musk going on, which is nice, but it definitely has like a clean, almost showery or like shampooey or shower wash smell to it. So it reminds me of being clean, like you're still sweet and cozied up, but you just took a shower. That's kind of the smell on this for me. I like that the almond note in here doesn't go too cherry. Like, that's really nice. I want to read you some notes so that you know them. The Whipped Almond one has notes of almond, milk, iris flower, and sandalwood. I think maybe the iris, I don't know what's giving it something more, yeah, like showery to me, like shampooey. It's not shampoo, but definitely has that kind of clean smell. And then with the Vanilla Bourbon, this has notes of black pepper and bergamot in the top, jasmine, vanilla orchid, and apple blossom in the mid, Madagascar vanilla, sandalwood, and amber in the base. So good. I highly suggest both of these. These are really, really good ones. I do think you need to want to like vanilla or like gourmands in that way. You definitely will need that to like this. But if you like coconuts, this one's so good, you guys. Very happy with the Mix Bar stuff. The other one that I picked up, another vanilla. I tend to stick with the vanillas, you guys, when I go with these other houses that are a little bit more cheap, because I find I genuinely like the vanilla scents, whereas when we go into those fruity florals, they're just not my vibe. I'm telling you, this is an anomaly of life that I like this. And so I just, you know, don't want to waste my money, even if it's not like tons, or just have perfumes that I don't genuinely like the smell of, you know? So anyway, this is Pacifica's Silver Moon. I'd been wanting to try this one out for a while. This is a vanilla, but this one's definitely so much lighter than vanilla bourbon. I don't get the kind of smoky notes at all though, that kind of same richness. This is different. It's kind of milky and sugary, like a more sugary vanilla than like a rich vanilla. The notes that it shows on Fragrantica are vanilla, almond, and spices, so that's all it gives me. I do find in the dry down of this though, it kind of gets like this musky or almost like masculine little tiny hinge to it, which I really enjoy as well. Again, something kind of like what's coming off of Coconut Palm or what's coming off of Paper from Commodity, but with that vanilla and that almond. So I really like that one as well. I think these are all solid, but they're all very similar in the scent that you can get. I think that's the thing, like you can get vanillas at all price points that can be pretty damn good. Some are bad, but you know, I feel like vanilla is one, depending on what you like, you can find something at a bunch of different price points. It's when we get into something more complex that I feel like it's harder for me to like. So again, I'd love any of your recommendations for something a little more inexpensive when it comes to like actual perfumes. I have two more perfumes that were sent to me. These were both sent to me through Twisted Lily. I have a code with Twisted Lily. I'll leave that down below. I also have a code with Commodity. You guys know that already probably at this point though, and everything's down below. You know, shop at your own leisure, no pressure, you know the drill. Because like I've mentioned, these perfumes are expensive, so I definitely suggest with any of these, if you can smell it before you buy it, do that. Please, please do that. You never know with notes, it might be notes and accords that you think you would love, but whatever they've done, whatever the, you know, ratios are, you really don't enjoy it. Or it might be something like with the Nichane 100 Silent Ways. None of the accords seem like something I'd like, none of the notes seem like something I'd like, and I freaking love it. Like I love, love, love it, you know? So you definitely, if you can sample stuff, sample it. Okay, that all being said, I just always like to go off on that because I think it's really important, so that way you hopefully don't waste any money. I have two perfumes from Mancera. This is Fig Extasy. I was really excited. I just did my Fig video more recently, so check that out if you haven't checked that out. I have tons of perfume videos. I've been doing these perfume videos quite a while now, you guys. Like, it's time flies. Time flies. This is a fig heavy perfume, but it also has some other stuff in here. I pick up this leather note in here, quite heavy, especially on my skin. Like when I spray this, I am hit with leather and pepper. There's a black pepper note in the top. I definitely smell that. As it dries down, the fig starts coming out even more. Like you can smell the fig the whole time, but the fig kind of gets more and more pronounced. It's a little bit sweeter. It almost has this like powderiness. It reminds me of the fig that I smell at that point in Scarlet Poppy, where it almost smells like kind of waxy, kind of powdery. I don't know, that's just how I read it, but it's beautiful. It's like very woody as well, and I think it's a really good fig one. You definitely need to like that kind of opening. It does die down, but that black pepper and that leather, you know, they're kind of strong and then they kind of die away. I think it gives it a nice depth though. I feel like this is a more complex version or like fig perfume than something like Velocicos, you know, but there's something similar to that in some ways. This just has more going on. So some of the notes on this has fig, incense, ginger, and black pepper in the top. There is fig leaf, leather, sandalwood, cedar, lavender, and thyme in the mid. And then there is vanilla pod, cyan benzoin, tonka bean, and styrax in the base. I definitely do also pick up on that aromatic touch with the lavender and the thyme. So I think there's something about it that's very familiar, very fig heavy, and yet there's like a lot of other things you experience also. It's very interesting to me in that way. I think maybe that tonka bean is also adding some of that like kind of makeup-y note that I get with the fig, but I do like it. I think I might like other fig stuff better, but I do like it. And I think if you love fig, you should definitely give this a smell and just see how you like it. But I do pick up that pepper, the leather, and those aromatic touches to the fig. So it's something a little different, but super fig heavy still. The other one from Mancera, this one I was excited to try out because there's a toffee note in here. So it's lots of florals, and that scared me, but I was like, hey, I've been loving the floral. Like, I think I might like this. And then that toffee note put me over the edge. And so I was so excited, but I think I might have, like, you know, I got a little confident, a little cocky. This has a lot of rose to me in it. There's something kind of syrupy about it. I like the DNA of Mancera. So there's part of me that likes this, even though I don't. Like, I can still smell it and go back and kind of like it, but there's something kind of syrupy. It almost smells like cherry medicine, like rose cherry medicine to me. But there's something very sweet as well. On my skin though, I think the biggest issue that I have with this is like in the dry down, as it dries, it gets just powderier and powderier. I'm like, how could it go more powdery? How could this happen? But that kind of top with this, it's just a lot. It's very strong. It's very intense. I think that people would like this. I'm just not quite it, but I could see a time in my life where I do like it. It's just not quite yet. I'm not there yet. So let me read you notes on this so you can see why I was like really intrigued. This says blood mandarin, pink pepper, and cinnamon in the top. It has Turkish rose, orange blossom, tuberose, and Indonesian patchouli leaf in the mid. Toffee, musk, incense, powdery notes, and ambergris in the base. When I smell this, I do get that cinnamon and the rose, and there's something about that adds something like kind of sexy to this floral scent. So even though I'm describing it as powdery, it's not like mature powdery necessarily, because there's something kind of still sexy going on. It's just a lot for me at where I'm at. I wish that toffee note came in a little stronger. It's still definitely sweet. It's very dense, but it's just that buzzing powderiness as it dries down. It takes over and it's a lot. It's just something that like my brain can't stop thinking about when it's on me in a bad way. Like, oh yeah, I smell it. There it is again. Oh yeah. Like it's just constantly occupying my thoughts in a way that I don't want my perfume to do. If anything, I want to be like, damn, I smell good. Not, there it is again. There it is again. So this one, unfortunately, right now is not it, but I hope that there's a part of me in the future that will like this, because there's something about it I like, but not enough really for it to be something I wear at the moment for me. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have this, what do you think of it? What do you like about it? Like, tell me your thoughts, because I'd love to know what someone else smells. A lot of people have compared it to something vanilla, royal vanilla, something from Mancera. They say it's like similar to that. I don't have that scent, so I can't let you know. But definitely my favorite Mancera still is Instant Crush. I freaking love that one. It's so good. Okay, guys, we have 2 more scents. I know, I hope you're still here. Probably the scent I wore the second most since I got it is Byredo's De Los Santos. I love this. This was like kind of love at first sniff. I was in Bloomingdale's and like sprayed it and I was like, that's interesting. Like, I'm pretty sure I love this, but it's just so interesting. It was a smell I never smelled, but I had smelled, but you know, not really in a perfume before. So interesting. Sprayed it on myself, was smelling it all night, and the next day I was like, I'm gonna go get that perfume tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna go buy it. This is the newest one, I believe, from them, although they have a new vanilla one that I'm really excited to smell, but I haven't yet. So let me know if you've smelled that. How do you like it? Because I'm back on vanillas, like you have no idea. Okay, I love the vanillas. This is a clean, musky, I get something super aromatic. It's a sage heavy perfume, but what I really smell when I smell this is like loose leaf tea, something like that, like a black tea, loose leaf, something kind of damp going on, but also dry at the same time, you know? Like, it's both. I smell something damp. I also smell something dry. And then I was reading reviews on Fragrantica and someone mentioned that this smells like a sauna, like a wood sauna, like the inside of that. And I also get that. Like, it's very dry, woody like that. And I think it smells beautiful. I almost pick up something mint as well. There's no mint in here, but there's something about the aromatics, like everything that I smell. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like this tiny little sprig of mint that like passes by your nose as well when you smell it. This is just clean and fresh. It makes me feel really productive, really like excited to like get the day done, like kind of like live that best life, you know, romanticize your life and get shit done. Like, you know, you wear activewear, but in the cute way. Like, I don't know, that's just what I get from it. Like, it smells just like the hope of a new day, you know, a hope of a new productive day. And I really freaking love it. When my mom was here, she also really loved that one. This is one she liked to spray and it was in like the top that she smelled out of my stuff. So to read you some notes, this has sage and mirabelle in the top, orris root and cistus incanus Huh, I've never seen that flower, but that's in the mid. And then musk, olibanum, and ambroxan in the base. Just really, really beautiful. And I feel like it's kind of in the vibe of Byredo, like that kind of clean, minimalistic scent. Very sage, aromatic, heavy. It doesn't have like woods in here, but to me, there's something almost dry, woodsy about it. Like that's what I get. It is kind of powdery and again, musky, and that really stays with you. That the base notes of ambroxan really stay, and I love ambroxan. So I've really enjoyed this. Again, another one I've put a bit of a dent in just since I've had it. Really enjoying that one. And then last here, this is one that's been on my wish list for a while. Indult's Tihota. This is the vanilla of vanillas. Like if you love vanillas, I definitely think you should smell this. You might love it. You might not think it's worth the money. It's a very expensive vanilla. I think it's beautiful. I think that this is a very, very good vanilla. It's simple. You know, it doesn't have a ton of other stuff going on, but to me, the vanilla in here is like this perfect line of feeling very authentic vanilla, like straight up vanilla extract in a way, but also it has something kind of cakey going on and could almost be described as something kind of synthetic as well. Like I could see someone being like, it's so authentic vanilla, and I'd be like, yeah. And then I could see someone being like, this is like synthetic vanilla, and I'd be like, yeah, I kind of get that too. But it's just beautiful. It's beautiful on my skin. This also takes on a bit of like a cloudy quality. Like it starts getting like a bourbon vanilla on me. And so it almost gets kind of smoky, kind of spicy. Like it adds something a little bit more. I'm like, damn, what's going on? But I love it. Sam really likes it. This was the perfume I picked up when my mom was here. We all went to the scent store. We went to Scent Bar here in Hollywood. And this is the one that I picked up. And so I was wearing it yesterday and the day before that. And I got a compliment from my friend on it. She was like, you smell so good. It smells like vanilla. I was like, it is, girl. It is like straight up vanilla. Such a good one. It's very expensive. Very glad I have it. It's one of those ones that was on my wish list for a long time, but it's like, when's the right time? Like, I don't know. I get like excited by new stuff, but this is like, oh, just reminding me vanilla's just really amazing. Like it really is. I do think this has like a similarity kind of to vanilla bourbon. This isn't as smoky. I mean, it goes more like that on me, but I don't think that's gonna happen with everyone. And I don't wanna like hype this up so much and be like, it's so worth it. I think it's worth it, but I also have read reviews. I've seen other people, not everyone thinks that, right? Like not everyone thinks that this is worth the money. So I would definitely get a sample if you can, or smell it in store if you can, before you know, splurge on it. But damn, I love this vanilla. I think it is so good, you guys, and I'm so glad to have it in my collection. I find that it wears a really long time. I mean, I sprayed myself quite a bit, but I was smelling it on me throughout the day. I felt like it really lasted on my clothing and on my skin, like on both of those things. So I have been just over the moon so far with having this. The perfume that my mom ended up getting was Floating from Lise, and I have the Beau scent from them, but Floating is their newest scent, and that one she really liked. It reminds me and is somewhat similar to Blackberry and Bay from Jo Malone. Like if you like Blackberry and Bay, I think you would like that. They have like no similar notes, but to me, to my nose, they are very similar. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave the video here. I think it was pretty long, lots of perfumes, like so many, definitely collective over the last like 2-ish months, but also like I've just spent a lot of money on perfumes. But yeah, I love it. It's my favorite thing, and I'd love to know any of your thoughts on these perfumes or what you've picked up recently. I'd love to know. It's so fun. I'm so glad so many of you guys have been getting into perfumes and enjoying like scents and perfumes. I just think it is the funnest thing, and it's so fun to be able to share that with you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited for the videos to come, and I'll see you then. Bye.